So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for coming to Cliftonville Games Talks, our tent talks. And our next speaker is Emma Butler from Encourage Wellbeing. So, can I ask you to give her a really warm welcome as she comes to the microphone?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I tried to get a few more, but they're all going to come rushing in now when they hear me start talking. So I'm really looking forward to being able to share with you today Encourage Wellbeing, which is a new business that I launched back in January this year. It's exclusive to Margate. Woohoo! So it's a first. But before I launch into that, I just wanted to ask a question and get a show of hands if I can. Put your hand up. If you could score your life today on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being I feel absolutely awful and I'm bored out of my mind and I don't feel, I feel like I'm living a life that was meant for somebody else. And 10 being I feel absolutely amazing and everything in my life is perfect and it's brilliant. Put your hand up if you'd score yourself a 10. Okay. Woohoo! Good! Yes! Okay. Put your hand up if you'd score yourself a 1. Okay. So I'm not surprised by that because actually that's quite natural. Most of us sit somewhere in between, having the best life or the worst life. But actually, having the worst life is normally a catalyst for us to do something about it. And living the best life, generally you continually try and grow and improve your life when you're up here because you're able to more so than if you're a 1. And most of us sit somewhere in the middle. And actually, if you're an in the middle person, so who would say they're a 5? Okay, good, thank you. 6? Okay, 7? Anyone below a 5? Good. So when you sit somewhere in the middle, actually, generally you plod along, okay? Because things are okay, but they're not amazing and they're not terrible, so we don't do too much about it. So what Encourage is it's a group that inspires you to be a 10 in your life, okay? So to look at every part of your life and say, actually, this part is a 10 and it's amazing and it's fantastic, so I'll carry on doing what I'm doing there. But I never quite feel totally fulfilled in my life. And what is it that's keeping me down? What area of my life is holding me back? And what we do is Encourage is we look at what I call the wheel of life. There's 12 areas in our life that make us feel fulfilled. And we look at all of them and we work out personally for you which areas you should be focusing on to bring you up to a 10 or an 8 to start with. Now, how did I Encourage Wellbeing came about? Well, last year, almost to a year, I would say, I was a very, very unwell person. I was extremely unhappy. I was quite overweight. I was in a job that I really hated, if I'll be honest with you. I'd worked in the corporate world for over 38 years. Never my passion, never really loved it, but earned quite a lot of money from it, so carried on doing it. I had problems with bloating, I had severe headaches, I had pains in my joints and my muscles. I mean, I literally could go on and on and on with a list of things, and I just had no energy. I was lethargic, I had brain fog, and I'd been under the hospital and I'd been through lots and lots of tests, right through to being tested for ovarian cancer, which I'm pleased to say was clear. But actually I walked away from the gynecologist with him saying to me, there's not really anything else we can do for you, so you're just going to have to live with it and hope that the menopause, which is what they put it down to, goes away quickly for you. And I just thought, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm 50 years old, I've got years and years, and I remember my mum telling me that her menopause lasted 10 years. And I thought, there's no way I can feel like this for 10 years. So I started to look at alternative ways of making myself feel better. And the more I looked, the more I found that actually there's this wheel of stuff. I'd been a serial dieter my whole life. I'd followed every different diet that there is out there, but predominantly low-fat diets. And I discovered that actually I was making myself unwell with the food that I was eating, with the mindset that I had, which was the more we feel down, the more we tell ourselves that we're ill, the more we feel ill. So it's a whole mindset with what I was doing in my career, doing a job that I didn't like. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to start changing these things. And as I changed them, I changed. So I'm a year later. I've left the corporate world. I no longer work in that job. I've launched my own business, which I'm building up now. I literally cannot remember the last time I took a painkiller. I think it was about March this year. I used to pop them every day that they were Smarties. I am full of energy. I hope you can see that. I feel amazing. I feel incredible. And I thought, actually, if I can do this for me, then I can do this for a lot of other people. So I launched Encourage. My meeting is on a Saturday morning in Margate. This morning we had about 40 members sitting in our group, all talking, working through these parts of our lives that we need to change. But it's not big, massive steps. It's little steps. And the key thing about how to improve your life is to look at the small things. We all think it's big, significant changes that we need to make. But it's the small steps in your life that give you the biggest results in the end. So we look at that and we work towards that. How am I doing for time? 10 minutes left. Oh, I finally had 10 minutes all along. I need to add more. Okay, so you're more than welcome to come along to see me at my store so I can tell you more about it. But what I'd like to do now is just give you a little sort of taster of the types of things that we might do in group. So today we talked about D-Day. This morning we talked about D-Day in group. So when I say D-Day, can anyone tell me what thoughts come into mind when I say D-Day? Shout them out. I know you've got it sitting in your head. Be brave. Normandy, okay, but what does it make you think of? If I say today is D-Day for you, what would you think that means? Action. Anything else? Now, the time is now. For me, D-Day means it's time now, no more hanging around, it's got to be today. So, and action, definitely. So I was looking at one of the things in life that shapes us. We all have something in life that shapes us day in and day out, and it's the same for everybody, and we're doing it every minute of every day. We're doing something every minute of every day that shapes us. Do you know what I'm talking about? I like to be interactive. I don't just like to tell you. You have to join in when I'm speaking. Any idea? Get into the D, funny enough, D-Day. Decisions. So we're making decisions every minute of every day, okay? Now, when you go to bed at night, do you think, right, I made 594 decisions today? Do you even think about what decisions you made when you went to bed? Probably not, unless you made a huge decision that day. Generally, you just say, that was a good day, that was a bad day, that was an okay day. We don't really think about it. But decisions are the most important thing that you do because your decisions shape your destiny. And that's where I come up with D-Day. So for decisions equal destiny. And when you start paying attention to the decisions that you're making day in and day out, what you start to see is your life changes for the better. Because you're focusing on where you want to go. Because we don't make a conscious decision without seeing where it's going to take us. And focus is key. So when you look at your wheel of life, which says, I'm a 10 in 3 of these areas, but actually I'm a 1, say in health and fitness as an example, seeing as that's one of the big things for a lot of our groups, then you would go, okay, so in order for me to go from a 1 from a 10 in health and fitness, I need to focus on the things that are going to help me to achieve that. Now that may be that you have a really, really good diet in that you eat healthily, you eat nourishing food, but actually you drink too much alcohol. No, don't look at me. Okay, yeah. Or it may be that you have, really, really active lifestyle, and you do a lot of walking, or you go running around, or you go to the gym, but then you overeat. And when you start to focus on something you want to achieve, you can then start to see in your life the things that you're doing every single day that are taking you towards your focus, the area you want to get to, or away from it. Once you know where you want to be and where you are today, you know what your gap is. Then you go, what decisions am I making every single day of my life that are taking me towards where I want to be or away from where I want to be? And then it's just tackling those little things each day. We don't want to diet. Diets are not good for us. Diets don't work. It's proven that 98.5% of people who diet gain all the weight that they lost, plus more, within 2 years. So that we know they don't work, but actually most of us are just concentrating on, or I just need to lose a couple of pounds and then I'll be able to do this, or then I'll feel good, or then I'll go and get the dress, or then I'll go to the wedding, or then I'll, all of the things. Stop putting your life on hold. Little steps. Think about the decisions that you make every single day, and each time be conscious in those decisions and say, actually, if I choose this, it takes me towards where I want to be. If I choose this, it takes me away. But that covers not just health and fitness, that covers everything. The 3 areas in our life that make us feel fulfilled. Growth. If you're not growing as a person, you're stagnating. If something stagnates, what happens to it? It dies. Okay, so you have to have growth. Contribution is another one. If you're not contributing, this is a fantastic event, community event, lots of people here, all supporting each other, loads of local businesses, amazing, makes you feel good, doesn't it? If you're contributing, whatever you're doing, if you're focusing on someone else, you stop focusing and worrying about yourself, you immediately feel good. And the last one is experience. And again, this sort of event is a fantastic example of how what you're doing day to day, the experience that you have in your life day to day will make you feel good or make you feel bad. So if you're consciously deciding to focus on making sure that you have good experiences in your life, making sure that you're growing as a person in some way, whatever that may be, and making sure that you're contributing, that you're giving back, you can immediately elevate your score, whatever it might have been at the beginning, by 2 or 3 points without actually having done anything other than make the decision. So I hope that's inspired you a little bit. I thank all of you for coming in. I've dragged you in off the grass outside. I am over there in on the store if you want to come and find out more. It's been lovely speaking to you all. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
So it's really, really nice to take time to think about our lives, isn't it? Often we're just rushing around, and to make those decisions, think about them consciously, does make a massive difference. So thank you, Emma, for being really inspiring. Can we give her another show of appreciation? Thank you. Our next speaker is Jodie from Thanet News, and she will be speaking to us in about 15 minutes. Thank you.